And let's jump right into our craft today. So I mentioned this in the little description up there at the top. I'm going to be doing a red, white, and blue craft today, but it will be different. It's not going to be, it will feel patriotic, but it's going to be different. And I want to show you a project that we recently did in the Napkin Club, my Napkin Club. Because it kind of gives you the feel. It's going to kind of give you the feel for what I'm going for here. So some of our napkins this month in the napkin bundle this past month, some were patriotic and some had this kind of like homestead farmhouse kind of feel, right? As you can see, like this beautiful cow right here with the pretty bell around her neck. I love her. But do you see how I'm mixing that with patriotic? So, and the bandana, this is actually a ribbon, bandana ribbon. So let me show this to you kind of over here, standing up. This is a large, oversized tag, and it says America, land that I love. So we've got a cow, we've got a rooster, beautiful, beautiful rooster. We've got some poppies. Poppies are a great flower to use for anything patriotic, if you know the symbolism behind that. And then the America Land That I Love was a special printable that I provided for everyone in our Napkin Club to use. And isn't it gorgeous? So this is kind of the feel. I'm kind of in this feel of kind of adding in a little bit of this kind of like hometown, homestead, patriotic, Americana kind of feel. Okay. So I know, isn't it awesome? So if any of you are interested in joining us in the Napkin Club, we would love to have you. We actually even have a special intro offer for you. And we'd love for you to come over and join us. And Cheryl McCarson is here with me today. She's she's adminning here over in the comments. So she's posting links for that for anybody that would like to come and join us and make awesome, wonderful projects. So that I wanted you to see that first because I don't know if you noticed. Well, here, let me bring it back. Do you see like there's strawberries, there's strawberries and just all the things, just really, really cute, right? And so I have these wonderful patriotic stars. These are shiplap stars. You can see they have 4 sections. This is not a crack. It's just a little whatever in the wood. I decided I'd use this one. So it's just a little dark stain kind of thing going through the wood, but it's 4 sections here on a solid piece. And instead of going purely patriotic with this, I am going to go red, white, and blue. Okay. I am going to go red, white, and blue, but I'm going to bring in my blue with blueberries and this lovely red and white check and this adorable strawberries napkin. And then I've got a couple other napkins here that I'm going to be using for accents. You can see that blueberry pie. Look at that little carton of blueberries. And then possibly, I keep going back and forth, I may be using a little bit of this napkin as well. Okay. So these are the napkins I'm going to be using. And, we've done this before. We're going to do it again today. Any of you that really enjoy this project today and want to create this, if you purchase one of our shiplap stars, I think this is the medium shiplap star. We're going to throw in some of the napkin pieces that I'm using today. Okay, so we're going to throw in some of the napkin pieces that I'm using today if you order one of the stars, and it'll be a half piece. A half piece will be plenty to finish this out. Okay, does that sound like fun? All right. I know I always feel bad because I'm showing you these projects and I'm showing you these things and I'm like, well, what if they don't have strawberry napkins or blueberry napkins? I'm like, let's just give them to them. Let's just give them to them. And if you're in the Napkin Club, these are all past napkins from your past bundles. Some of these were last year and they're past napkins. So if you've been in the club for a while, you probably already have these napkins. All right, so first thing first, we're going to paint this star. Okay, we're going to paint this star. I want to paint it out white. So I'm going to bring up, I have this Lazy Susan that obviously you can see I paint on sometimes to just to keep my table clean. Sorry, I think I have some lipstick on my teeth. So I'm going to paint this out solid white. All right. Yes, it's going to be so cute. All right, so I'm going to be using just a solid white. I'm using my Country Chic paint, which is a chalk and mineral-based paint. It's called Simplicity is the color. It's the pure white, but you could use any white that you have. And I'm using white because I want this star to feel crisp and clean, and I want my napkin art to really pop as we put it, as we decoupage it onto this beautiful shiplap star. There we go. While I'm painting, I just want to also remind everyone, we have so many things going on right now. Great ways for you to plug yourself in this summer. If you're a scrapbooker, we're starting a summer series, a little summer mini series in the Page Builders Clubhouse. We also have announced our live event that's going to be happening in October. And if you're a scrapbooker, a memory keeper, or want to become one, we definitely want you to go get that information. We're in Page Builders, we're going to start a mini series for summer, and that's going to run up until the week of July 4th. And then after that, we're going to do a travel series. We're going to do one on scrapbooking our trips, right? Those vacations or staycations or weekend getaways. They can be overwhelming. They can be kind of overwhelming to scrapbook. So we're going to have a series about that, and that's going to run after July 4th through August. So we'd love to have you come. Fabric Fan Club, we also have, if you're interested in working with fabric or hand stitching, actually we call it doodling with thread, and we make and do some awesome, wonderful projects in there as well. So if fabric is kind of your thing, or you want to try something new, we'd love to have you in there. And faith journaling, if you're want to start the process of Bible journaling, we're going to be starting a new series. We're right at the end of a series right now, but we're going to be starting a new series in July. Okay, we're going to start a new series in July, and it's a creative escape into the Bible. It's going to be great. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to feel kind of like summer camp. Like a summer travel into the Bible. And then, of course, the Napkin Club, which is what I'm featuring today. We're going to be working with napkins today. So if you like what you see and it just entices you to be like, I think I want to learn more about napkin art and all the different surfaces I can use, that is going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be doing some really special things coming up with the bundle that it just shipped out this week. We still have a few if you're interested in coming to join us. It's called Mosaic Summer, and it is a very unique napkin bundle, and we're going to be doing some really unique decor pieces. So we'd love to have you. So I'm just saying all this because I have 4 different groups because I love all things creative. I don't want to give up any one of them. I love them all. And I just want you to plug yourself in somewhere. Plug yourself in for some creative fun this summer. I think you'll really enjoy it. Okay. Try something new. All right. So I have painted my star. And I think really just one coat is going to do it, especially with the paint that I'm using. If you're using like an acrylic paint and you feel like the wood has soaked it up, it's okay to do a second coat if you need to. But I think this is pretty good. I see one little area right there. I might put a little extra swipe on this part right there. Looks like I'm going to miss that. So here we go. Pretty. A little bit right here. And I just dry brushed my white paint around the edges of the star. I'm not going to do the back of the star, but if you want this to really have a nice finished out look, definitely paint the back of the star. Maybe even add some extra napkin art to the back of the star if you want. Could be really cute. I'm going to show you today a cool way to actually stand this star up. All right. We're not going to make a hanger for it. We're going to stand it up. And so I'm going to show you how to do that too. All right. I think we're good here. Our star is nice and painted. My hands are nice and painted. And I think I'm out of baby wipes up here. Oh, no. I still have a few. Let's see if they've dried out. Yeah, they're still wet. Is there room to join today? Yes, come join. Yes, we've already emailed our wait list. So anybody on the wait list have already grabbed their spots. And I kind of went a little heavier in ordering for this bundle just because it's so unique. And I knew that it would have a big draw. So Shanna, come join. Come join. We can get you in. What size is this star? Well, let's see here. This star is about 9 3/4 ish by 10. So 9 3/4 by 10. Maybe just think of it more as like a 10 by 10, but that's point to point. Like that's point to point. All right. Okay. So let's grab our napkins and get started. I'm going to be using these wonderful napkins to create something that has kind of a patriotic feel, but different, right? Using red, white, and blue in a different way. Okay. And I have been going back and forth over which way, like the strawberry napkin is the largest. So meaning like the largest images here. So I was kind of thinking it might be good to be on the second layer here. So if you do purchase a star today, we're going to put in a half napkin of all of these ones that I'm using. You'll have plenty. You'll have plenty to play with. And I love these strawberries right here that look like hearts. Okay. I love these strawberries that look like hearts. We are going to use those also somewhere else. So I'm going to go up and lay this napkin right along. I'm going to have it be on the second row of the shiplap. And I'm going to fold it up. It's just easier for me to just go in and kind of make a fold. Just a line, kind of a fold line, so I know exactly where to cut rather than trying to measure it all out. And now I'm going to come in and cut this strip. So this is the strip that's going to go on the second part, just because the strawberries are kind of large and I think they're really cute. So you'll see you're going to have quite a bit of napkin left over. So you could do something fun on the back. I'm definitely going to use a few of these these strawberries that kind of look like hearts here in the center. I'll definitely be using those on this star as well. All right, so we've got that strip. So I'm thinking that strip is going, yeah, it'll be going right there. And then our next biggest area is going to be here. So should it be blueberries? Gotta decide. This is the hard part. It's hard to decide. Let's do the red and white check down here. Well, hang on a second. Let me think a second. I think I'm going to do it on I'm going to do this one on this part right here because we may add some other embellishments and I think they'll pop nicely on this check. It almost looks like a tablecloth, right? Okay, so again, just make my little line there. And sometimes it's easier, you guys, to see your fold from the back of the napkin. Yeah, pick a club, any club. I like that, Stephanie. Creativity is so much fun, you guys. It's going to bring you, if you feel like you're lacking something in your life, lacking joy, lacking something just for you, right? Plug yourself in. You need to plug yourself into a creative group, make some friends in that group. We have some awesome people, awesome women in our groups that will become your friends for life. All right, sorry, I just want to kind of lay this out so I can see what it's going to look like. Okay, we're going to go there. So now let's use our blueberries. Let's do our blueberries at the top and the bottom. How about that? What do you think? Oh, has anybody received we just shipped the Mosaic Summer Napkin Bundle out and the Simply Delightful Fabric Bundle out. Has anybody got them yet? They are so pretty. They are so pretty. They're even prettier in person than me just trying to show you online. You're going to realize that when you get them. All right, I think I'm just trying to see. Yeah, I want to make sure we get quite a few of our little blueberries on here. Okay. All right, so this one's going to be a little different. I really just need to get the points. So let me just make sure it's a little long enough. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, so we got blueberries there. And let's see if we can just turn this and we'll put blueberries up here. Okay, that's what I think I'm going to do. I think this is the order I'm going to go in. And now don't worry, I have these other napkins over here, but we're going to use them kind of as a special accent. So let's start here. So I'm going to go ahead and separate my napkins. I do that just with tapping my finger like this, but you can also put a little tiny drop of Mod Podge on your fingers if that doesn't work for you to make them sticky. Tiny little drop. And it is going to be important that we take all the napkin plies off. Okay. Your napkin bundle is scheduled to come Monday. Yours are going to arrive today. I cannot wait for y'all to get them and see them in person. What we're gonna do is anybody today, just as a special offer today, if you purchase the wood star, we're gonna throw in a half a napkin of all the napkins I'm using, and that'll be plenty for you to decorate your star with. You'll have plenty in excess. Betty, you love the new bundle, yay! All right, let's start decoupaging. So by having white underneath these napkins, it's going to make our napkins really pop, right? They're going to really pop. It's going to be almost like a spotlight shining through that napkin. So you have to be careful with napkin art. If you try to put napkin art on something that's too dark, it does just the opposite. And it's hard because it's a very, by the time you take the layers off, it's a really thin piece of tissue, right? So whatever the background is, it's going to show through. It's going to show through your napkin. So I like to go with lighter, brighter, kind of lighter, brighter. It doesn't necessarily have to be brighter, but a lighter color so that our napkin art can really go, really show up well. Okay, so let's use this bigger brush. I'm using Mod Podge Matte today, which is the yellow label. And we're going to start right up here at the top. I'm going to go a little bit over our line here, but I want to be very careful to stay above that little shiplap valley, that little line that goes across. I want to stay above, just slightly above that. I mean, just ever so slightly. Okay. I'm going to use plastic wrap for this. Our star is nice and smooth. So plastic wrap is going to be great for smoothing this out. You could use any kind of plastic wrap that you have in your kitchen. You could also even cut a sandwich baggie or something apart to use that. I'm using bakery deli sheets. I like to use these bakery deli sheets. They're my favorite. And if you're interested in them, they're in my Amazon storefront. I just get them on Amazon. All right. Next up is going to be the strawberries. Isn't this going to be cute? So it's still going to feel patriotic. We're using something patriotic, this patriotic star, and we're still using patriotic colors, red, white, and blue, but it's going to look a little different. And this is going to look so good. I'm going to put this in my kitchen. I have a few places in my kitchen that I put seasonal decor items out, and it's going to look so cute. And I'm going to show you how to make it stand on its own today as well. Okay, so I'm kind of right there we go. All right. Let's get a fresh piece since this is so long. Nice. It's going to look like these are just part of the wood. You're not going to see any of that white. That white part of the tissue is just going to completely disappear right into the paint. Oh my gosh, this is going to be so cute. And then I like to leave this kind of stuff out all summer. I don't, I usually, some of my patriotic projects even that are purely, patriotic, I just leave them out all summer. I usually take them down after Labor Day. So I kind of like that some of them feel more summery. It's just a nice, fun look. All right, here goes our red and white check. And again, I'm just trying to get it kind of right in the middle of that roadway. Perfect. Let's see. You can use a part of your plastic wrap that does not have Mod Podge on it. And then you can also let those dry and reuse them, but you never want to put a piece of plastic wrap that has Mod Podge on top of a napkin because it will just take your napkin right back off. Yeah, this is going to be really cute. Okay, and now we're going to do this one. Can you guys see this okay? If y'all want me to change my screen up, I will. I'm going to wind up sanding everything off the edges, all the excess. All right, so let's see. Maybe just trying to think. Let's go about like that. Oh, I already love it. We're going to make it look even cuter, you guys. It's going to be fun. Yeah, you can use your sandwich bags. Definitely. Sandwich baggies. I like these because they just pop up out of a box like a Kleenex. And of course, I'm using them constantly, all the time. Whereas depending on how much you're using them, it might make more sense just to cut up a sandwich baggie or something. Okay. Okay, I like to dry the edges. I like to make sure everything's dry before I sand it because I want to, if you sand the edge and the napkins and the Mod Podge isn't all the way dry, sometimes the napkin will pull and tear. So I'm going to make sure it's sanded well. I don't want anything to pull and tear, so I'm going to dry it. All right, that feels good. And let me grab some sandpaper. Let's see it on. Oh, here we go. Okay, so you could use like a piece of sandpaper. You could use, if you have like a foam sanding block, you could use something like that. You could use sandpaper. You could use a sanding file. Really anything. It's not going to take much to sand this away because it's just that thin tissue, right? It's just that thin tissue. So I'm going to come in and just start sanding off the edges. You like where the project is going? Good. It'll be so cute. It'll be so cute in my kitchen with some of my other things. And like the large tag that we just made in the Napkin Club and that canvas. We just made a really pretty canvas in there too. Yeah, I just think it's going to make a pretty little display. And then in the Fabric Fan Club, we've made these beautiful fabric strawberries. We made them, I think we made those last year. I'm going to be resharing a blog post about that this week. So even cute little fabric strawberries would be adorable with this. All right, I think that's it. So let's take a look at our red, white, and blue star, right? Our red, white, and blue star, but it's not, you know, traditional. Yeah, it's going to look great. Okay, so I mentioned I want to kind of embellish this. I want to embellish this up a little bit. And that's what we're going to do next. So I'm going to switch my screen. And I'm going to bring the camera down. Let me get some cords out of the way here. Cords everywhere. All right, so you can see how pretty the star is. Now I'm going to bring over some of this because I was debating, part of me was thinking, well, I could maybe make a little tag out of this. I wasn't sure if I wanted to put this in or not. So we're going to just put this napkin to the side for a moment. It was kind of my maybe. It was my maybe pile. But I love this napkin. This napkin has got some really, really cute images on it. And I'm going to choose some of these images to kind of have some fun on my star. So let me put this extra piece over here. I'm going to start with, like, I love the pie. I think the pie is just super cute. So I'm going to come in and just kind of cut around the things that I like. So I do like this pie. Okay, so I'm going to cut around that. I also think that this little jam jar is pretty cute. It's not very red, but we can fix that. And then I like the carton with the blueberries. I think that's cute too. I don't know. It's all cute. It's going to be hard to choose. This little crock. I'm just going to go ahead and choose some things, and then we'll see where we want to go from here. This is kind of connected to this basket. So I'm just going to cut some things, and we're going to kind of lay them on the star. We're going to see how they look. And then we'll decide what to use. And then, like I said, you're going to have so much left over that you'll have plenty to decorate the back if you want to. Look how cute that is. That is really cute. I like that. Let me open this up. So do you see what I mean? Like, we could come in and kind of embellish like that. If you really like the pie better, you could maybe use the pie. If you like the little pint, the little blueberry carton, that's cute too. So, I mean, you could just kind of play around with multiple things here. I'm kind of liking this. That's kind of cute too, if we wanted to add that in. I kind of like this, but you guys tell me what you think. What do you like? Tell me what you like. I'm going to start cutting while you talk about it. So cute. So if you get the star today, I'm just throwing in a half of each of the napkins that I'm using. We're going to just throw those in for you so that you can create this project. These are all past napkins from past bundles in the Napkin Club. So I'm just bubbling, I'm kind of bubbling around. Just bubbling around this. And I'm thinking I might want to make this dimensional. In fact, I think I will. So what does that mean? Well, if I want to add something dimensional onto this star, we just did that recently on a canvas in the Napkin Club. We put our napkin art onto paper. We actually make decorative paper cardstock with our napkin. Look how cute. That is really cute. I just kind of like how that kind of goes up the star like that. I think that's kind of cute. And some of you might prefer the pie. The pie is really cute too. I don't know. It's hard to choose. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you my method for adding napkins to paper. My favorite method anyway. There's lots of ways that you can do certain things, but to me, what we're going to do is the iron-on method, and it is tried and true. I think I'm going to use these three. I think I'm going to use those three. Although I do like the carton too, though. It has more blue in it. Ay, ay, ay. This is when it gets hard. It's so hard to choose sometimes. I'm going to add some ribbon. We're going to make this just look so adorable. Okay, let's start here. We're going to start here. All right, I have a piece of white cardstock that I brought in. Okay, and it is right here. I'm not going to need to use all of this. And you guys, I need to run over and grab my iron. Let me grab that real quick too. So I am going to use my my iron today. This is my little Aliso iron. It's the mini. I love it for crafting. I never ever put water in it because it is my craft iron, and it's a good idea not to put water in your craft irons, especially if you're doing certain types of techniques. You don't ever want to use any moisture or steam. And I don't know if you heard any of that because I was bending down to plug my iron in. So I never put water in my iron, okay, in my craft iron. I never put water in it. We always, with your craft irons, you generally want them to be dry, right? No water, no steam. Okay. And let me make sure I have some parchment paper here, which I do. So I'm going to grab a sheet of parchment paper. That's going to be important for us as well. So the first step is going to be, yeah, I kind of like the blueberry basket, Debbie. I like the blueberry basket too. I don't know. We'll see. So the first thing we're going to have to do, and we're not really doing too much, is we're going to apply some, I don't have to cover this whole piece of paper. We're going to apply our Mod Podge mat to the paper, okay? So that's what's happening right now. We're going to apply that Mod Podge mat right to the paper. And I think that's plenty of room to get what we need on here. A lot of times I'll Mod Podge paper several pieces at a time, and that way they're just ready to go. And then let them dry. Once they're dry, you can stack them up and then just use them when you need them. So I'm giving you a little peek into the Napkin Club right now. We do some pretty interesting techniques and things in there. So if you're watching right now, you're getting a good little peek, okay? All right, so we're gonna make sure this gets all nice and dry. It's not gonna take long to dry. Just tuning in, Cindy. We are working on this beautiful patriotic star using red, white, and blue, but not traditional patriotic napkins. We're using strawberries and blueberries and one that looks like picnic table, like tablecloth. Okay. All right, I think that's pretty good. All right, so now that this is dry, now you see how my hand just smoothly goes over it. And yes, paper will wrinkle and it'll bubble up and wrinkle because that's just what paper does when it gets wet, okay? But don't worry because your iron is going to take care of all that. All right? Yes, the star is in the shop, and just for today, because I'm just feeling good. I'm enjoying being crafty today. I want you guys to be able to make this star. So if you purchase a star, we're going to throw in half of each of the napkins I'm using, which will be plenty for you to use for yours. Okay. So I'm actually going to cut. I know this is kind of connected, but I'm going to kind of cut it apart just in case I decide to use something else. So now I'm just going to lay the pieces onto the dried Mod Podge and make sure that you have separated your napkin. Okay, that's important. Got to separate those napkins. All of these napkins, you guys, are 3-ply, which means you got to take off 2 plies. So these are the ones I'm considering using. I'm just going to go ahead and do them all up. All right, we'll just kind of lay them like that on the paper. So the next thing that's going to happen is we're going to add the parchment paper. You always, always, always want to have something between your iron and the napkins, the Mod Podge surface, you know, all of that Mod Podge paper. And so I'm going to take my parchment paper and put it right on top. Now, if you guys, my Napkin Club people that are watching right now, remember Tuesday and I was using the brown parchment paper? Okay, this is an advantage to using the white parchment paper because white parchment paper you can see through. So you can see if anything kind of moves around, like if you're specifically trying to get things in a certain area, it's kind of nice to use the white. Okay. All right. My iron is nice and hot now. And I am on a heat resistant craft mat. That'll be important for you too. Make sure you're on something heat resistant. And we're just going to start ironing over our napkin art. Okay. And what's going to happen is the iron is going to activate the Mod Podge and it is going to pretty much bake our napkins right into the paper. Okay. I use the word bake or meld. It's going to be great. We're basically creating our own decorative paper. Okay. And we're going to be doing this also in Page Builders Clubhouse soon because there's so many things we can do with napkins for our layouts. So if you're a paper crafter, you will love the Napkin Club, and you'd probably also love the Page Builders Clubhouse. All right, so here we go. I'm going to just peel this back. It's going to be very warm. And that is our parchment paper. Let me lift this up. And I want you to see that now we have these adorable images on our paper. I like to let the paper cool a little bit before I start really cutting and all of those things. So I'm just going to cut off some of this excess. We're going to let the paper cool for a second. It won't take long. And then we're going to cut around some of these images. Yes, it's an awesome technique. It's an awesome technique. Yes. All right, let's bring back over this. And then I wanted you to look. Do you see how like the reds in here are more of like a cranberry red? These are more of, you can see that on the screen, how bright the strawberries are. So I'm actually going to come in with, one of my glaze pens here. Just while this is cooling. And by the way, I'm not going to do any pen work on these other than just brighten these red pieces up. But if I was going to do like pen work, like with my black pit pens, y'all know I do that a lot on my napkin art. I really don't feel like these pieces need it. But if I was, right, if I was going to outline something or whatever, I would want to let this paper cool and then put a very light coat of Mod Podge on top of it. Okay, just a really light coat. You have to seal the napkin, otherwise it's going to try to soak in the color. Now, because I want to change the color of the napkin, it's okay for me to do this. See how much brighter that got? So I actually I don't even really have to do anything. I just kind of, it's almost like just little dots. And yeah, it's going to look great, but that's going to help this really brighten up to look a little brighter like my pieces over here. So I'm using a red glaze pen. And you don't need to use too much. In fact, if you have any other type of red marker that you want to use, you can. Just be careful because, again, I have not sealed this napkin. So be careful with how much you put on. Put on a little bit and let the napkin will kind of start to soak it up a bit. We're just going to let it kind of do its thing. Okay. If I sealed this napkin, it would not soak it up like it is kind of right now. But I actually want it to do that right now. Do you see what I mean? Like there's different techniques depending on what you want to happen. Okay. And you'll see it'll kind of just like, it'll just fill in. But that's what I want for this because I'm trying to get the colors to match up a little better. You see? And then also this, I want this to appear to be strawberry jam. So I'm going to kind of add my color in the center and let it just kind of fill in. It's just going to kind of begin to fill in even over the darker areas. Now this is going to look much more like strawberry jam, right? So it's kind of a fun thing that you can do. And again, it's like, what do you want to achieve? What are you wanting to achieve? And you know, that's why we do these things. I'm going to dry anything that I colored, and my paper now is really cooling off. Perfect. So now it's going to be the color I need it to be. You're learning so much. I told you this is today's is really kind of a peek into the Napkin Club. There's so many things that we teach in there. You're going to learn different painting techniques. You're going to learn so many different things. So now I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to begin to cut. And I'm not cutting right on the image. I'm kind of bubbling around it. So you're going to have a little bit of a white highlight. I guess you could think of it like that. We do so much fun stuff in there. And I'm telling you that the Mosaic Summer Napkin Bundle, which is the one we just shipped out, if you sign up, that'll be your first bundle. And we're going to be doing some really unique things with it. So I'd love for you to come and join us for the summer. Well, actually, I'd love for you to come and join us and stay for as long as you want. We don't have any kind of contract. I mean, you can just come, try it out. If you decide to leave, you have to let us know you want to cancel before the 1st of the next month. Look how pretty. Isn't that pretty? Right? So those of you that are paper crafters out there, I mean, look how cute. These would be so cute to create your own cards and tags. Again, I think for scrapbooking, I really need to start utilizing my napkins more with my scrapbooking. So we're going to have a little fun with that this summer in the Page Builders Clubhouse. I've got all kinds of fun things planned for us this summer. So if you want to find a place to plug yourself in, Bible journaling. Do you want to learn about Bible journaling? That's a really fun, creative, and of course, very rewarding process. And we're going to do a fun kind of creative escape into the Bible. And that series is going to start start in July. We're actually ending a series right now. We're about to start a brand new series in Page Builders, a mini series. We're calling it Hello Summer for creating some great summery layouts to capture your summer fun and memories. And then after in July and August, we're going to be doing a travel series in Page Builders. So those of you that have that trip that you have all those pictures for that you haven't done anything with, and you want to preserve those memories, create a scrapbook or something for them, that's what we're going to be focusing on in July and August after we do our little fun little mini series, summer series. And then the Fabric Fan Club. If you're interested in playing with fabric, if you've always loved fabric, you don't have to have a sewing machine for that group. We do some hand stitching in there, and we call it doodling with thread. It's a very stress-free way to create with fabric. Sometimes we just make things with fabric, but we have a really great time in there. It's not a quilting group. It's not for quilting. I'm a crafter. I'm a maker. I make things. We do all kinds of really unexpected things with fabric. And I love it. It's probably one of my most relaxing groups because it's something you can just, it's very relaxing to me. It's almost therapeutic for me. So plug yourself in. Plug yourself in this summer. Find something new to do. Let's have some fun. Okay, so we're going to come back over to the star here, and I'm going to make myself small. Okay, and I'm going to be using this. This is foam tape. Okay, if you're a paper crafter, you may have pop dots that are like circles or squares. This is the same thing. It's just in a tape form. So it's double-sided. It's sticky on both sides. And we're going to make these things kind of dimensional. We're going to decide kind of how we want to decorate with them, make them dimensional on our star here. And I don't know why, but I keep kind of coming to this side of the star, but you don't have to, right? Let's just kind of play with some of the things. And again, these could go kind of, I like them on the picnic table. I think of this red and white check as like a tablecloth. That's what it reminds me of. So I think kind of having these things on the picnicky part of our table here is kind of cute. You could also have the pie. Remember the pie over here? I didn't use that one this time. But the pie is really cute. And let's just kind of want to play with some of the arrangement. You can decide, where you want to put things. And if this is too much for you, or you want to put like a word or something, if you wanted to stamp a word, you could even do something kind of like this, where you just have something up high and something down low. Okay, right? You could do something like that. I'm kind of leaning towards keeping things on one side here, but I don't know yet. I got to play with it for a minute before I decide. What do y'all like? Do you like having things all the way across this area, or just like a grouping, like a little grouping? What do y'all like? And I'm going to pop them up. They'll be popped up. That to me looks really cute. I kind of like the threes. So I'm kind of leaning towards this, but you tell me what you think. Here, I'll hold it up closer so you can see it better. So see, we could go all the way across, right? Like we could have cute little things all the way across, but I'm kind of liking the threes here. So I think I'm going to pick these. I really like the carton here, but I also like the basket. Oh, so yeah, we'll have to decide. The basket's really cute too. I think I'm leaning towards the carton. Okay, so now then we're going to put this down, and I'm going to use some of the foam tape. I'm also going to, let me turn off my iron real quick. I'm going to use some hot glue with this, okay? And let me use my other scissors for this. So I'm going to cut a few strips of the foam tape. I don't have to have foam tape everywhere. Just going to kind of put it on at an angle here. But I want this to be popped up. Okay, I want it to be popped up. So I'm going to add some hot glue on top of this. I don't trust the foam tape to stay put. And you know what I just realized? I don't think I ever Mod Podged over the top of my star. I don't think I did. You guys, you would want to Mod Podge over the top of your star. I'll do mine at the end. I'll just do it carefully around these pieces. I know. See, that's what happens when you're live. You just get ahead of yourself and you want to keep moving on. But I'll show you. If you ever do forget, I'll show you how to go back in and put that on. So do you see how it's raised? It's raised off. Now this one I only used one layer, but this piece is going to be on top of this piece. So this one I'm going to double stack. Okay, I'm going to double stack this one. What does that mean? Well, that means I'm going to put down one piece of foam tape, and we're going to peel off that backing, and then I'm going to put another piece of foam tape on top. I want to have some dimension here. I want some of these to look like they're at different levels on my super cute star. So see how it's double stacked? I have two stacks. So this one's going to be raised up higher. And let's put this one like maybe right there. So cute. I know it's hard to see, you know, 3D kind of images on camera like this, but hopefully you can kind of tell that they're closer to you, right? So one layer on this one, two layers on this one. Now we got to think about our cute little jam jar. Where do we want that to go? Do we want it to go like right here? It could be towards the back. We could put nothing on that piece if we didn't want to. I'm going to go ahead and do one though. I think just one for this one, since it will be kind of slightly underneath the blueberry carton. Yeah. Oh my goodness, that's so cute. Okay. So what do we think? Isn't that cute? I think it's adorable. I still have the basket over here that I could, you know, you could, if you want to just fill up the whole thing, you could. I'm going to save this because if I decorate the back, right, maybe I'll use it there, or maybe I'll just use it on something else, right? It's okay. Pick and choose your favorites. You don't have to use everything. Okay. We don't have to use everything. So let's go ahead really quickly and put on our Mod Podge, because that is a step that I failed to do, because we do need to seal all of this. So if you forget, it's okay. It's okay. We're just going to come back. We just need a nice, just a thin coat. We have to seal that napkin art. We want to protect it. Remember, it's just that really super thin tissue. So I'm going to just kind of go really carefully along the edges, and then I'm just going to kind of push my brush underneath the things that are popped up. So if you ever forget like me, it's okay. It won't be the first time, and it won't be the last time. And the Mod Podge matte really gives it a nice kind of a satin. It's matte, but it has it's called matte, but it has just a little bit of a sheen to it. I guess I would consider it maybe like kind of satiny kind of sheen. I don't always seal my iron-on, like when I'm doing the paper stuff. I don't always seal those because literally they've been baked into the paper. They have been melded into the paper. I usually only put a thin coat or a seal on top of those if I'm going to do pen work on them, like black pen work. Okay. All right, let's let that dry for just a second. And I thought it would be fun to maybe add a little something something on these. I have some torn fabric that I used not too long ago on our patriotic star. The patriotic summer canvas set that goes on our welcome home house. Do you remember that? So I thought this blue was really great with it. I thought this might look pretty with it. Kind of pulls in the blue from the blueberries. Or I also have this ribbon that has stars on it. And I also have this ribbon, and part of me wants to use this ribbon because, again, the star looks patriotic, right? But we use things that just brought in the patriotic colors. But look, I think using a little bit of the this on there, I think would look really cute to kind of tie in that patriotic feel. So let's go ahead and dry this real fast. I have a little bit of lace here if you want to use it. Crocheted lace. Probably should have thought about the ribbon before I put these on, but that's okay. I can work around that too. So if I wanted to, I could come in and maybe run some ribbon. I really like this. So I'm going to cut myself a piece of ribbon here. I like the red, white, and blue. I think that's the one I'm going to go for. So because I already put this piece down, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just glue this little strip right here. All right. So I'm going to use my glue gun for that. I'm kind of like, it's not like just one bead of glue. I kind of move it around with the tip. And let's bring our red, white, and blue ribbon right across there. Now you could bring this to the back. I'm just going to trim mine. I'm going to put just a tiny, just from the tip, just a tiny little dot of hot glue there, and that just helps keep things from fraying. I like this. All right, so now we're going to bring it over here and we're going to try to line it up. I do my best to line it up right there. Let me lift this up just a little bit. Oh, no. Ooh, thank you. Did y'all hear Cheryl? She's like, you need to flip it over. She's right. I had the blue on the bottom. Thank you. Oops, let me get it underneath. Oh, man. Hang on. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this. Let me cut this again. Cut that part down a little bit. All right, let's try this again. Blue is going to be on the top. Blue is going to be on the top. There we go. If you do that part before you put your little pieces on, it'll be much easier. Make sure I have it all the way to the edge. If you had already painted out the back, you could even wrap it around to the back. Perfect. And again, just a tiny little bit. There we go. Okay, now I have it right. Thank you, Cheryl. Okay, so let's add Let me see. Do I want to add something like that? Do I want to add an actual bow? Okay, let me play around with this for a minute because I may wind up doing a bow. So if I'm going to add a bow, I'm going to make my red, white, and blue ribbon look like a tribute ribbon, right? We've done this before. I'm going to use some baker's twine. And I'm going to pick this up. These will be my tails. This is where the center of my bow will be, and I'm going to bring this to the back. I don't need this to be a really big bow. Actually, that looks really good. And then I'm going to grab a hold of it with my clothespin. It's just to be my kind of like your third hand. And then let's tie this off in the center. Move it over. Yes, that is cute, cute, cute. Let me tie this off in a really nice tight double knot. And then let's make a bow on top of this. Easiest bow you'll ever make. That's why I make them so often, because they're just so easy. Cute. All right. I make little knots in the tails on the twine. I'll trim it right below the knot. You guys like this project? You did a good job, Cheryl. You did good. Thank you for hollering out at me. All right, and then I'm going to do these in like a, I'm going to cut this off straight. I'm going to cut this up the middle and then cut. Let's see if it's going to cut well. Some ribbon does and some ribbon doesn't. I don't think this ribbon's going to cut very well. It's just because of how it's weaved, how it's woven. Let's say woven. So I was going to do a flag in, but I'm afraid it's all just going to fall apart. So I'm just going to do a slant cut. And then let's add our bow in here. Now we're going to be the boss of our bow. We're going to decide. I'm going to kind of pull the loops downward a little bit. I'm going to kind of pull them down, hold them in my hand like that. Okay. I'm going to come back in with some hot glue kind of right in that this little area right here. And I'm going to push our bow kind of into that area. Just the kind of the knotted part. And we're just going to let it hold for just a second. And I'm going to put a little more glue right over here because I want this loop to go. I don't want it to cover up all of that. I'm going to bring it over kind of to the side. Perfect. You are the boss of your bow. Oh my gosh. That's so cute. Isn't that so cute? That's so adorable. I love it. I need a little star, but I don't think I have a little star here with me. Let me see if I have a little heart or even a button. Let's see. That button's too big. That's too big. Let me grab a button from my stash over here. I might have to look around and see if I have a little star. I think a star would be cute. But a little button's cute there too. Just trying to decide which color to go. Oh, I like the white. I'll put this white button here for now, but I'm pretty sure I've got a star in my stash somewhere. I think a star would be cute. And then let's see, I think this is a teenier button. Let's see if I have an even teenier button here. I don't think I do. Okay, well, you get the gist, right? You get the gist. You could come in and decorate it out however you want. Isn't it cute? Okay, so the last thing I wanted to show you guys today was how to make this stand up. Right now, if you wanted to, run a ribbon behind it, you could. I mean, you could make like a little ribbon hanger kind of from here to here and just glue it to the back. But I don't always want to hang things. Sometimes I like things to just be able to stand up on their own. By the way, if you wanted to sparkle anything, of course, you can come in and sparkle with stickles, right? And I probably will. I may come in and sparkle some of these things down here, but I just think it looks so cute. Isn't it adorable? We're shipping out the stars and stuff. We're shipping them immediately when the orders come in. They're already here. We've already cut the napkins, so we'll be shipping those out immediately. I hope y'all like this. I love it. Okay, moving along. I'm gonna move some things out of the way here for a second because we're gonna talk about how to make this stand on its own. Okay, we're going to talk about how to make it stand on its own. Yes, you could do a beaded hanger, a wire hanger. I mean, you could do any kind of hanger that you want if you want it to hang. Also, things like this, stars like this size, are really cute to stick into wreaths or other arrangements. So, and you don't even really have to attach them. You can just kind of stick them in. And that would be really cute too. So I want to show you something different though today. I want to show you how you can, and I've showed this before, but I want to show it again because you could actually do it with a star. We're going to make our own little easel back with a clothespin, okay? And we need 2 for a star because we're going to put them behind the star feet, right? These points that are the feet of the star. So what I'm going to do, and watch closely. Sorry, I've got gunk all over my fingers. Okay, watch closely. I'm going to slide this part back while holding this side. So see what I'm doing? I'm going to slide it back. Hang on. There we go. And look what we just created. We created an easel. So what I love about this is I can actually flatten these right back out when I go to store my piece. So I'm sliding this piece back. Oops, sorry. Hang on. I've got one that doesn't want to play. Let me do it on this side. Okay, for some reason this one doesn't want to play. Let me grab another one. Okay, so here's this one. That one plays. Yeah, this one plays. These 2 played nicely. This one didn't. I don't know why. Actually, this one is the one I usually use for my bows, so maybe it's just too loose. Okay, so this just creates the easel back, and then you can just close them when you get ready to store your project. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this over really quickly and just show you how this would work. You're going to want to go up a little bit when you attach these because we don't want our star standing like straight up and down. We want it to kind of lean back a little bit, right? We don't want it to be like this. We want it to lean back a little bit. So that means we need to raise our little easel back up a little bit. You don't want to bring it like all the way down to the bottom. Okay, so I'm going to bring mine right about there. Actually, that's a really good spot right there. So do you see where this part is almost like touching the edge of the star? You can use wood glue for this. I'm just going to use hot glue for right now. And I'm going to have it kind of follow this line and follow this line. We're going to see how that works. Because that way I can know that I'm getting them right in the exact same spot. Okay, so we're going to let these just sit up for a second. Just pressing them down into the glue. And voila, we have a stand. Do you see what I mean? Do you see how it's angling back and it's not straight up and down? Let me go over here to this side so that you can see this a little better. All right, so do you see? They're not straight. I have that because I want to make sure they're in the same position. I used it to line up here and here and right here at the edge and right here at the edge. Okay, these are just plain clothespins, nothing special. They do make really cute clothespins. They make cute ones in colors and all the things. So if you do decorate the back and you want colorful ones, you can totally do that. And you can do this on any kind of little small wood surface. But with a star, you're going to need two. Okay, you're going to need two. Isn't it great? So again, do you see how it leans backwards? It's leaning back a little bit. If we made it go straight, it would be like this. It's just too straight. It's going to look cuter when it's leaning back. Okay, so now what do I do when I'm ready to store it? Well, when I'm ready to store it, this is all I do. I just close the clothespins. I just close the clothespins and then it's straight again. And if I decide I want to hang it or do something else with it, they're not going to really get in the way. So, you know, it's great. And then when I want to put it back up, I'm just going to slide this one back and slide this one back. It's a little hard because I have the stuff on the front. Okay. And then I have my easel. Isn't that great? Yeah, super easy. It really is easy. Now, I'm not going to, I mean, every once in a while you may get one that just doesn't want to play right. Just grab another one, right? When you get clothespins, you're going to have more than one. I think this is the clothespin I use a lot for when I'm doing ribbons, and I think I've just used it a lot, so it's just not as tight. Yeah. Right? So cute. Okay. So this is going to look so cute in my kitchen. All summer, can have some cute little summer things out. And as I mentioned, if you want to go in and add any kind of sparkle, let's add just a little bit of sparkle and then we're gonna end our time together. So if I can come in and just kind of sparkle up different parts of it again, because it is, you know, it is patriotic. If you want any of your stars or your little blueberries, I'll sparkle some of these blueberries. You'll see that. See the sparkle on the, yeah. So I can just come in, add a little bit of sparkle. If I put a star right here, I probably will sparkle it. I'm going to go ahead and sparkle this button. Yes, so it's just have some fun with it. I think it looks kind of fun to do something to the accent pieces. Maybe just the jam. Right? Isn't that fun? All right. Well, that's my craft and chat project for you today, and I hope you enjoyed it. It was super. It's just such a super cute one and so fun and easy to do. You learned a few techniques today, and if you enjoyed learning these things and you want to come and join us in the Napkin Club, make sure and click on the link that Cheryl is posting there, because we have a little special invite for you, a little special. And we're going to send you a little special bundle as a welcome. Okay.